WC. Riding in style here. That looks like me walking. Another little treat for you. Just keeps going and going. I know. This is the steam shed. (1915) case, 50 horsepower. Can you believe that's 50 horses? This thing I'm sitting on has 28. And he says, it's unthinkable. How did they get anything done back then? I mean, anything. One damn thing. And I tell you, a friend of mine made a astute observation just a minute ago. He said, man, can you imagine these kids today? Back when this was your job and you were working in 14? No, these kids today, no. They wouldn't have lasted 10 minutes in an environment like that. 10 minutes. They would have fallen down and cried, and somebody would have took off their belt and whooped them. Whooped them a good one and said, get back to work, kid. This ain't a game out here, son. This is depression. Ain't enough to go around, let alone you getting down here and mollycoddling. Get your ass up, get to work. Old Pickering governor. Bill Richards would love this right here. I hope David Richards, excuse me. Embarrassing. Don't want to seem too vapid at this point. Yeah, I can imagine old stories from the old timer that ran this, yep, I ran that tractor for 37 years and only killed 3 of my sons. I mean, look at this right here. You could be like accident, like, that was just good. Whoop! Your arm's gone. If not, pull your whole body up into that thing and kill you. Get your foot stuck under here. Oh, that foot's coming off. Oh, look at that monster. They must use that to get a lot of these started with a belt, I would imagine. Because that looks like it's got some serious torque on it. Let's see if I can get you a shot here. The lighting is not good. There we go. And that's how it was steered, and you just kind of let it do what it was going to do. Oh man, that steering wheel itself is like an engine flywheel. And it turns really easily, in fact. But yeah, here's your 3 check valves. That is a sighting glass right there. And I would imagine those operate the piston system, the intake and output, the steam pressure output. And that's all translated by this one. Here's the actual engine, as it were. This is the boiler. This is where wood and water goes. This big long tube right here. So that's basically a gas tank. And the motor is right there. And the transmission, as it were, this thing has one gear. It only goes one speed, but that's it. That's how the power gets to the street. And there had to be guys to come along every once in a while with you know, grease and like they would have a grease spoon, or they would just have like an actual dripper, but this requires grease. It's gotta be greasy. And again, this flywheel here, oh man, that thing is locked in there solid. It ain't moving at all. And that's the valve for the steam piston. And this piston is probably, I mean, here, let's see the size of the circumference of that. You know, yeah, that's about that big. Just boom, 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 boom. And steam doesn't compress at all. So when it pushes, like so, see the whole thing, and that little spinny whirly gig Pickering governor on top is making sure this thing doesn't run away on him and just start, because it will. If it didn't have that governor there, that's the only way to control the speed of the engine. Yeah. And again, it feels like a campfire. The closer I get to it, it's surrounded by this aura of warmth. I bet you everything to the front of that piston to the back of it will burn the skin right off your hand if you touched it. And this wagon is plumbed or something, so that must be the water supply. Get you a shot of the me. I'm like outrunning this thing. My triple legs. There's a shot of the transmission running. Okay, let's have a rundown. An old dozer. Looks like they're still working on that. Old Caterpillar. Tough as nails. This looks like an old hay baler. Is that the water supply? Is that thing hold the water for the?
No.
It's,
We got a tank under the engine.
oh, okay.
It used to.
Okay, I just that's original purpose, yeah.
With it being a wooden tank like that, we had to fill it 2 weeks before we used it,
Oh.
and everything swell up.
Yeah.
And then it still leaked.
Thanks now. That's for the hit and miss engine would couple to it. They'd bring they'd wheel a hit and miss engine up, or maybe even like the tractor that drug it out here. They would link that up with the leather belt and drive that hay baler like that. Hay would go on the top. It would suck it up and spit it out the end. Actually, that may even not be a hay baler. That may be, I would have to look at it further to find out if it's a hay baler or like a grain sorter. Here's another one. looks like we've got another water tank trailer and wood carrier. I haven't the foggiest what that thing is right there. That's some hand-built monster. I bet you it's a whistle. It's like a custom steam whistle. We got a 1904 case, 15 to 45 horsepower, owned by the Gravitt family. Magnificent piece of work. Can you imagine all the guys that were making molds of this stuff? I mean, you can see the texture of it. That was sand. And they would print these molds out in sand, pour the molten cast iron in there, knock it off, paint it, send it out. Oh, this one's got a real interesting, this one's operational. Oh yeah, that's still hot from running earlier. And that is the sight glass. We can kind of tell how much water the boiler has in it through that. And again, the Pickering governor. Oh, one just got put up. This is a really interesting case right here. He's put truck and car tires on it. See clear through it to the other side. That is the 1916 case 65 horsepower. And this is the 23K 65. You can only imagine that's the William family there. Got a magnificent beast. Just magnificent. Port Huron Engine Company, Thresher. Port Huron, Michigan, another fantastic beast, and where to find them. That galvanized sheet metal roof with a wooden frame, carriage frame. This one's got the same deal. (1906) case, 36 horsepower. Waynesboro, Pennsylvania. I mean, just look at the size of this thing. It's like a locomotive. That's what it is, basically. It's a little land-bound locomotive that can steer. David Richards on YouTube, funny enough, he runs the channel Old Steam Powered Machine Shop. If you haven't had a look at it, do. It's fascinating stuff. A lot cooler than pimple popping. And he builds stuff, so that's even cooler. But his dad got through the Great Depression with three of his buddies. They had a machine like this, and they crossed upstate New York on it, doing cutting railroad ties for people. They had a mobile sawmill that was pulled behind it, and they would cut railroad ties. And that got him and his family through the Great Depression. And later on, he bought another, and then he ran that for a while, and then he bought a steam hoist, which he used in the town that David Richards still has his shop in. He's since taken the boiler and moved it inside the building and runs a line shaft operated. The entire building, all the machines in it, run off of one steam engine. And it's by a bunch of leather belt systems, a lot like we saw over there. Really cool stuff, so give them a look. The 1911 case, 45 horsepower. Nice 4.0 John Deere. All right, some live action over here right now. This is the 1902 case, 20 horsepower machine. lot of this thing's mathematics is just sheer mass moving around. Like that flywheel right there. Something else.
Hey, no. If you get it started, go back the same way you had it.
Ooh, a challenge. Look at a challenge accepted. Now it's running in reverse.
All right, now you can go the other way.
See the valves. You just feel the ground is shaking.